In this video, I want to give another introduction to Altair, this time using a real data set. So this one I've uploaded in this file called cars.csv. So let's just take a look at this pandas data frame. And it's still not a huge data frame, but it's 406 rows and something like 8 or 9 columns, if I remember right. And how you should think of each row of this data frame as like one instance. So for example, this is one instance from this data frame, this one corresponding to this particular car called Buick Skylark 320. And so let's encode some of this data into a visual properties of an Altair chart. So just like before, we do alt.chart, and then we say what the variable name for the pandas data frame is. And then we say what we want the marks to be. I'll use mark circle again. Now I'm going to say how to encode it. So let's say X is going to be, how about horsepower? So this already shows me a little bit about how the horsepower values are distributed in this data frame. Okay, and if I were to do df.describe, and then I find the horsepower column here. So let's see some examples. So the average is 105, the minimum is 46, the maximum is 230. So minimum 46, maximum 230. That seems pretty believable. So that's just a little example of how this describe method for the pandas data frame, how that reflects what we're seeing in this first Altair chart. And let's choose something to encode in the y-axis, and I'm going to use this weight in pounds column. So let's say y equals weight in pounds. And so that's pretty nice. One thing I notice right away when I look at this is there seems to be this outlier value here. And if we wanted, we could try to figure that out by like saying, what is in this pandas data frame? What has, for example, horsepower bigger than 200? Okay, so if I just do that, I get a Boolean series. So what has horsepower bigger than 200? And what has weight less than 3,500? Okay, so it's like, what's in this rectangle here? Okay, so I can say and. Okay, this isn't the Python way of saying and. This is the pandas way of saying and. And now I want to know weight in pounds. I want that to be less than 3,500. And if I were to check what is the sum of this, okay, and this is just a fancy way of saying how many trues appear in this. Oh, only one true appears. And that corresponds to there being only one point in this rectangle. And what is that point? Okay, well, let me just copy what's inside here. And again, I'm going to use Boolean indexing. So I'm going to put this Boolean series that I highlighted, I'm going to put that inside df brackets. And that's going to say, only keep the rows where this is true. Okay, so it only kept one row, and that's this Buick Estate Wagon, SW. Okay, whatever that means. But there's also an Altair way to figure out what this is. Okay, let me show you. And that's using this new encoding channel called tooltip. And here for tooltip, I can say I want the name of the object. And so now if I hover my mouse over this point, okay, then I get this name, Buick Estate Wagon. And you can also put a list into the tooltip value. So for example, instead of just name, okay, I can also say, show me what is the year and show me what is the origin. Okay, and now if I put my mouse over this, I see both the year, the origin, which in this case is USA, and I see the name. And the same works for any of these points. Maybe I'll just do one more and then we'll be done. If in here I say I want to encode the color using origin, then there are only 3 origins in this data set. For example, if I do df.origin.unique, I'll see that there are only 3 values in here: USA, Europe, and Japan. And now those are encoded using the color here in this Altair chart. That's all I'll say in this video. Thank you for watching.